If I traded it all.
So welcome back, everyone. My next guest is Mark Ginsberg, and he is the owner of Exponential. How do you say it?
Exponential Growth Tutoring and Test Prep, Carol.
Say it again.
Exponential Growth Tutoring and Test Prep.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. Tell everybody what it is that you do and how you can help those people out there.
Well, in short, I like to say that I help guide and shape young lives, help to provide them with future options, and I help save parents a lot of money.
Thank you. How do you do that?
Well, scholarships for college nowadays are that's a whole industry in and of itself. And if I can save somebody $2,000 a year over 4 years, that's $8,000. That's nothing to sneeze at, particularly when they can invest just a small portion of that towards tutoring. They will get a much bigger return on their investment if they get some of these scholarships.
That's so true. I mean, it's all about trying to get scholarships. That's what you should be telling your kids. If they're in school right now, get a scholarship. And you can help them by tutoring them, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, college nowadays is, even in state, $25,000 if you live in the dorms. If you can chip away, get yourself a presidential scholarship, that can cut into that. You can get $10,000 to $15,000 a year, perhaps even more.
Can you help anyone from anywhere?
I think I can potentially help somebody, as long as somebody has the desire.
How do you work with them? Do you do it? Do they come to you? Do you go to them? How does it work? Do you do it through Skype?
I do it mostly in person because I believe some things are lost in translation trying to do things online. I do some things online, but it's been minimum. I believe that in person you get the personal touch, you get the full experience.
So you go to them?
I either go to them or they can come to me. I have an office in Scottsdale, near Thunderbird and Scottsdale Road. They can come to me. I've got a big testing room there. I've got a tutoring office, so it's plush. We've got a nice view of Scottsdale and Thunderbird.
When are the tests coming up? Are they all the time?
The tests are constantly.
Okay.
Yeah, the SAT is about once every 6 weeks. The SAT is about once a month during school, and the ACT is about once every 6 weeks.
And you know what? When you've got some higher grades on those tests, number one, you can get into some scholarships, but also you can get into some colleges that you might. Okay. Now, you have a drawing, and your drawing is for a 1-hour free math or college test prep session.
Correct. I'm a math tutor by trade, or math teacher. I have a bachelor's in economics, I have a master's in special education, and I'm a math certified high school teacher who just retired from the Paradise Valley School District last May after 22 years of teaching. So I come from that background, so I'll be happy to do math tutoring through most high school subjects, as well as college test prep to help get them into great school.
Okay, and that's a $75 value, free to you guys, so you're getting entered into win. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll-free it's 1-866-536-1100. You can check him out on his website. It is Tutor Arizona. It's all spelled out, Arizona.com. The number to call him is 602-703-3901. I'm going to let you call throughout the rest of the show for this, too, or if you want to get connected with him at 602-277-5369. Okay, so things have changed over the years.
Very much so.
Right. And it's really hard. Some of these things are really hard to do. Do you find that everybody should be tutored?
That's a good question. I think if somebody has aspirations to go into a university, for instance, I think there's good reason to, because of the structure. A lot of kids have the academic intelligence. A lot of them have the drive, but they don't have the maturity or the structure that a tutor might provide. For instance, when it comes to SAT and ACT, we sit them down in a room, we do test simulations. It's all timed, so that way the student can get used to the pacing of it. I recommend stopwatches. I recommend that they have water or something, something to drink. Perhaps, calculator could be a certain kind of graphing calculator, scientific calculator, something that they actually can find themselves, kind of find their rhythm. And that is really, really important when you're taking a test like this.
Sure.
My 3 Ps are pace, prioritize, and practice. and they've got to do that. They've got to find their way that they can pace.
I know so many people who have taken that SAT, and then they're not very happy, with their scores,
Right.
and they'll have to take it again. Why not take it one time and not have to pay for it again?
Yeah, the SAT is kind of a different animal. It is changing. The new SAT is coming up in March. But the SAT has always been a different test. It's more of an aptitude test, meaning they're really testing for kind of testing intelligence, if you will. The ACT is more of an achievement test for kids. So kids are used to some of that because it comes from their school. But their school experience oftentimes, that's not sufficient for them to achieve very highly on the SAT. They need work in that specifically because it's so different.
What are the differences then between the ACT and the SAT?
Well, the SAT is devised by a company called the College Board, and it's been around forever, I think since the 20s or so. And it's been predominantly billed as a test taker's test. So in other words, when you get in there, you don't know what to really expect, at least most people. Probably 5 to 10% of students or people have natural test-taking abilities. I know I didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah, and I didn't when I was going to UC Santa Barbara back in the early 80s. I took the SAT. It was a foreign language. So it was a completely different animal. I didn't know really how to prepped a little bit, improved my score by prepping. But nowadays, with some of the programs, with my program, I feel like, we can get those scores up, especially with the new SAT.
Well, they have this book. They have the flashcards,
Right.
And you think that you can read that and go through it, and you think you got it, and you don't.
And you don't. So the SAT is now a 2,400-point test, but it's going down to a 1,600 with this new test. For reading, writing is one subject, one area, and then math is another. The ACT is based on 36 points, and it's got 4 different sections, one being English, one being math, one being reading, one being science. So there's 4 sections you have to master versus the SAT, which really only has, 3.
And not everybody's good in all of those.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely
Most
correct.
people are not.
Yeah.
Now, you're offering for everyone, and again, if it's not you, maybe you know someone who is going to be taking these tests. He's offering everybody for a 1 hour. You're getting entered in a 1 hour free math or college test prep session. It's a $75 value. That's free to you. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And I'm going to let everybody keep on calling throughout the rest of the show for this, okay? What are the big three in-state university admissions requirements?
Great question, Carol. We've got ASU, NAU, and University of Arizona, and all of them have pretty much a range of admission requirements, unless you're going to the Honors College, which of course bumps things up. But generally speaking, they want a 3.0. If you have a 3.0 academic GPA, what they call a Core 16, you do not have to take one of these tests. However, if you want to get scholarships, then they do tell you need to take
Your
these
parents
tests.
want you to get scholarships.
Exactly. Your parents want you to get scholarships. And they want to get scholarships because the money will come back to them ultimately. But our in-state universities are fairly predictable as far as what they want to see. If you don't have a 3.0, generally they want to see about 1040 on the math and the reading for the current SAT. The future SAT, we'll find out. On the ACT, we're looking at about a 21, 22. So they want to see somewhere in that ballpark for their general admission.
Now, his phone number is area code 602-703-3901, and the website is Tutor Arizona. It's all spelled out, Arizona.com, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I only have less than a minute here, okay? So I'm going to try to get to him. What is this, a U or VOC? What is that?
University of Choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. What is it?
Well, University of Choice are the universities simply on the short list of where students and parents want to go. So I've got kind of some suggestions.
Okay,
I'm going to run
go
through real
for
quick.
it.
Okay, so research deadlines and testing requirements. Make and write down your top UOC score goal. Post it on the mirror because when you see it in the morning and at night, it's going to stick in your head. And it's the subconscious that will that will change your behaviors. Also, dedicate your score goal to someone other than yourself, perhaps a relative, deceased or living. make your motivational and or performance playlist. Get yourself motivated.
Give them a call. 602-703-3901. It's tutораrizona.com.